What's going on, everybody? David Elliott here, and I've got a pretty fun video to share with you today. This is going to be a live video walkthrough of a system that I built in Excel called the Jericho, and we are going to create 50 letters of intent, 50 LOIs for cash versus subject to transactions, and then send out 50 emails, all automated using Excel. And so if you're an investor, a wholesaler, or an agent, stick around till the end of this video because this content is made for you. And so let's begin. I'm going to minimize myself here on the screen. And in front of you is the Jericho system. It is a system that is allowing you to automate certain tasks from acquisitions to dispositions. And so on this live example, I have 50 leads that I am going to create a letter of intent for, and it's going to be automated using this system. And we're going to create that LOI and then attach it to an email. That email is then going to get sent out to its prospective seller or agent, and it's going to have an automated body paragraph, the attached LOI, the terms of agreement of the sale, an embedded picture, and it's going to happen within a couple of minutes, all automated through Excel. So if that sounds interesting to you, stick around. So what we're going to do now is, this is a list of leads that I have. We're going to start at row count 117. So this happens to be my row 117 row count. And we're going to go all the way down to 170 over here. So we're going to auto-generate 50 LOIs at the exact same time. And so this little magical button here is going to pull the necessary property information for that specific property, do the math out, and then implement it into an LOI. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave my drop folder here, and you're going to see the file being created and then dropped into its designated file path. So let's get started. It's going to take a couple minutes. And we'll just let this run in the background. It'll probably be done within maybe a minute and a half. So you're generating 50 letters of intents probably within a minute. I'm going to let this run for a little bit and then we'll come right back. All right. It just finished processing. Let's take a look at the designated file path for all these LOIs being generated. Looks like we started around 8:25 and we finished at around 8:27. So I'm going to say it probably took us about a minute and a half to create 50 LOIs for cash versus subject to transactions. And so we're going to pull one of these up. Let's do that real quick. Let me move this letter of intent on over. And you can see here that you have a cash option, a subject to scenario with a designated explanation to the seller, explaining the difference between a cash versus a creative offer. And then we have some basic information pertaining to the seller about who we are as a buyer and what they can expect in terms of the agreement of the sale. So you can customize this LOI to however you want. I'm going to pull up another LOI just for the sake of example. And you can see on this one here, the numbers are completely different. And so the math is being completely done for you, which is great. It's really saving us a ton of time in terms of acquisition. Can you imagine trying to manually do 50 LOIs by hand? I think that might take you a couple of days. How we were able to automate it within a minute and a half. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to close out of these tabs and we're going to move on over to the master tab of the Jericho system. And the master tab is basically where I'm going to blast out all these emails with the attached letter of intent with a selected body paragraph. there's an option here where you can designate which type of body paragraph that you want to include in every email. And then once those emails are blasted out, I mean, we're pretty much set to go. This is it. Now we just sit back and wait for the seller or for the agent to give us a call back. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull up an example of an email template that I like to use. So we're going to start at row 76. This is correct. Attached a letter of intent. Let's change that to true. Let's attach it. And we're going to open up the email. There it is. So that was super quick. Here is the agent's email address. I have my partner CC'd on this email. We have the LOI that was just generated a few seconds ago. And we also have a designated body paragraph for that specific agent with the property address embedded in the text itself. I have also got an explanation here for why a seller or an agent might want to consider creative finance. So you can change the embedded photo to however you want to personalize your emails. I personally like to add as much information as I can to the seller, to the agent. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to close out of this window and we are going to blast out these emails. It's a little late in the evening, but that's okay. We're going to send these out anyways. And we have a starting row of 27. And we're going to change the display to false because you don't want to crash our system and have 50 emails randomly pop up on our screen. So we're going to change this to false. And it's essentially just going to connect to your Gmail server, Yahoo server, whatever email provider you're using. And it'll send out emails immediately from Excel with the attached LOI, with a designated body paragraph you're choosing, embedded photo. All of this is done for you. And so I'm also going to include a time delay per email just because I don't want to be flagged as spam between one email getting sent out maybe a little too quick compared to the other one. So we're going to put a pause between each email for 7 seconds. And you don't have to put a pause, but I'm personally going to add one just because I want to make sure that the deliverability is going through to any type of email provider that a seller or an agent is using at that time. And so we're going to leave that at 7 seconds. I am going to pull up my Gmail inbox. We're going to take a look at these emails being sent at the exact same time. So we're going to leave this under the Sent tab. You refresh my page, make sure there's nothing here that needs to come through. Looks like we're good there. Minimize the tab just ever so slightly. It's a little too big of a window. Pulling behind, that seems to be okay. Okay. That should be perfect. So we're going to start now at row 27. Here's agent or seller's name, their email address. The property address is going to be included in the subject line, the embedded body paragraph, and then the property address is also already embedded within the LOI itself because we just did that a few seconds ago. And so we're starting at row 27. It's going to end at row 76. So if I highlight the cells, that is 50 emails. That's going to be automated for you. And so once I click this button, everything is going to continue. I just want to open up my inbox so we could see these emails being sent at the same time. Right, let's begin. Let me make sure actually that my partner is CC'd on this. So this is great. And I think everything is good to go. Yes. Okay. Let's start sending out these emails. Just double checking. And that is not what I want. I want my Gmail box. There we go. And one more time. There it is. So we're going to click on blast emails and then all this will start processing. So you can see the loading feature now with Excel. I'm going to pull up my inbox again. and we should start seeing emails getting sent out in a relatively quick manner. It'll probably take us anywhere between 6 and 7 minutes because I do have a time delay on there. I have the option to not have a time delay per email, but I would like to include it just because we are sending out a lot of emails and we want to reduce the risk of being flagged as spam. And there are a couple of spam websites, or not spam websites, websites that will check your email itself and tell you whether or not it's being labeled as spam. So that is out there. It's free. You can check your body paragraph, your headers, and make sure that everything is being done accordingly. And it'll rate your email, actually. It'll tell you whether or not you need to change your wordage. So that's definitely something to check out before you start blasting out a lot of emails at the same time. So it looks like here that we've already begun. 8:34 p.m. is the time that we are sending out these emails. I'm going to click on one of these. We can see here that I've had my partner's name on there. We have the property address, offer to seller. We have the body text that I have included and the attached LOI. So pretty cool. All being done with you. This is all being done within a few minutes. So we're going to let this run. I'll come back in maybe about 5 minutes, and then we will verify that all these emails were sent out correctly. Alrighty, so the processing just finished, and we literally just sent out 50 LOIs via email through Excel with a letter of intent attached, all automated to have an individualized body paragraph to the designated person of interest. Here it is on your screen. 8:34 p.m. is when we had started the process. And I'm going to scroll up and we have 50 emails. Pretty cool. So that's that. And we're going to head on over to the inbox and we can see that we've already had a couple of replies back. Looks like we had one delivery issue. Let's see if it was just with one individual person or if it was multiple people. Looks like it was just one email. So one email did not go through out of 50. So 49 emails total went through. And we've already have 3 replies back from our agent or seller. So that's perfect. There's a perfect live demonstration showing you the capability of the Jericho system and showing you that these emails are indeed going through. So this concludes this video. If you're interested in picking this up, the software itself will be made available to you in the video description below. I believe I have a discount down there. And I believe that this would also provide a tremendous amount of value, whether you're an agent, a wholesaler, an investor, being able to automate certain tasks such as creating your LOIs, sending out emails, and I didn't mention it on this video, but you can also handle your buyer dispositions the exact same way. And so take care, everyone. I'll catch you on the next video.